This is Dabu 7, and the invasion continues at the southern border. It's now thousands of Chinese saboteurs are definitely inside of America, some of them with the help of the Biden administration. And we know that busloads are being sent to these sanctuary cities, probably to one near you. One of the most recent being sent to Los Angeles, here as we're getting word that these Chinese migrants are entering the U.S. on foot at the southern border and that they're trekking through the jungle in Central America through a large stretch just to get here. They're also not all just poor individuals. Some of these are working class individuals that are able to pay these individuals in Mexico, the cartel members, some 35,000 US dollars per head to help them get here. And that's just in some instances. Right now, they're saying that these military age men are showing up in groups of 10 to 15, crossing the border, and many of them just disappearing into the country. We're also finding out that Illinois is to issue these standardized driver's license to illegal immigrants, to where they're going to be able to use these IDs for around 4 years in this country to do all types of things that the Dems are going to allow them to do. One is going to be to vote if they get their way with illegal migrants. We also have the Biden administration planning to move migrant teenagers into a North Carolina boarding school. Many people down there finding out about this are alarmed and are like, what is going on? Well, I warned people it's probably going to take until they're coming to a town near you before people get up off their tail and voice any concern. What's happening in on all types of towns and cities across the United States. And the warnings are being put out there by several individuals that it's not stopping. This is literally an invasion. And as one group is putting it here, they know that many of these individuals coming into our country are connected to the PLA. They are military trained. In some of these places, they have found where they were drinking chicken's blood, and they say that this is a right to PLA soldiers and how they celebrate and what they do. They know that they're in here. They say that they're plotting to launch an attack because, as the ancient Chinese philosophy taught, to take your enemy by surprise is one of the best ways to conduct war. So be prepared, folks. This, of course, isn't without the helping hand of the Biden administration. Join me on the live streams where I break this down further. We got to find a way to stop this invasion. Much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't stop nothing, man, because this is the will of the Lord, you know. But before I get into it, I want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh by Hashem, and Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone, rule, web, and great jump to his hand, the breakers of the truth, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Lord, when it's edifying, and just touching on this topic about all these Moabites, so-called Chinese people coming across the border, and and you know America and China are enemies. They do business together, but ultimately they're enemies. You know, and Russia and China are together. You know, and it ain't far fetched if America be invaded. Because it speak on how the Lord is going render evil for evil, roughly paraphrasing, because Esau, these Americans, have went around the earth stealing, killing, and pillaging. You know, it's gonna come back here. You're gonna have a foot war in the lands of America before it's over with. I honestly believe that. Why? Because America has done that all throughout the planet, destroying nations and things of that nature. And America think it's gonna escape. Matter of fact, I got a precept that's kind of going into it. Jeremiah Jeremiah 49 and verse 30. It say, "Flee, get you far off, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Ha- Hazor, saith the Lord. For Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, have taken counsel against you, and have conceived a purpose against you." And this point right here, this speaking of, you know, it is also speaking of America. It say, "Arise, get you up unto the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, saith the Lord, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwelleth alone." And that's how America set up. Ain't no gates or bars around this place, and it dwelleth alone. It's all the way on this side of the earth. You know, it ain't over there in the midst of the east, in the midst of all its enemies. You know, but they surrounding all their enemies with embassies and or what they call them, embassies, basically embassies, but that ain't what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about basically like camps for the soldiers, because embassies were like politicians and shit be military bases. You know, they got military bases surrounding all these different countries, all the enemies and stuff like that. But the enemy not really surrounding this place. They starting to, but they ain't surrounding it like Esau been surrounding them of these American Edomites. And that's pretty much the point. Because this place gonna be visited. Same as in uh Jeremiah 40, Isaiah. In Isaiah 47, they call Babylon, call America the daughter of Babylon. I'm gonna read this, some of these, not all of it. I'm just hit it a little bit. It's Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover thy locks. And it say, come sit down on the ground. It's a virgin because it's never been penetrated with water. And that's why I call it a virgin. It say, um, take the millstone and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the legs, uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. Speaking of America, man, this place is in trouble, man. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. You know, America is gonna fall, man, according to the Lord. And we know the nuclear missiles is gonna destroy this place, but it'll only be right if these other nations come and invade this place too. The Lord say we entering into the time like never before. So if we enter into a time like never before, we can't exclude nothing, you know, especially something that never happened in Babylon, but it portrayed. It done these things all throughout the planet. It's gonna happen here, man. America will be a war zone soon before the nuclear missiles hit. You know, they gonna send. You're gonna have all kind of troops here. You're gonna have the UN trying to get shit under control. You're gonna have mercenaries getting sent. That's probably what these dudes are. You know, all these Chinese, they probably like mercenaries. You know, don't be surprised. The North Koreans, they got that one move where the North Koreans invaded. I forgot the brother out. Like him, I always be talking about it. Matter of fact, I seen it, but I can't think of the name of it. But the North Koreans invaded America, so don't be surprised if these nations invade America, man. And it be war in different throughout different cities in America. You had the National Guard have to look, fight, go to war, and if that happened, a draft is coming. If different scrimmages and stuff start popping up in the streets of America with other countries, so to speak, like other countries have invaded, which we know that they hear sleeper cells all over this place, man. You know, they say they say I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hands, and thou didst shew them no mercy. And upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst thou remember thy latter end. Yeah, so Esau was, you know, Esau was deceived. Since he wasn't judged for what he was doing, he feel as if the Lord didn't see it. The Lord uh, um didn't care, so to speak. But the whole time the Lord was just taking notes, you know, building up a case on this devil, man. Ultimately to bring him down. Do the Lord have to do that? No, he didn't, but that's how the Lord want things orchestrated. And that's what it's gonna be. Um yeah, that's all of it. I guess because I was watching what's the name too. This young Fred.
World famous dance crew, the Jabberwockies, is coming to Beau Rivage this summer with their newest show, Timeless. Visit BeauRivage.com for tickets and VIP packages.
And what was China's military is being told to prepare for total war. The Chinese have told their military to get ready for a total war scenario when testing and evaluating the performance of new weapons. This is according to scientists that are involved in a recent project that has been posted by the South China Morning Post. Chinese military conjectures are saying that a world war scenario or an all-out conflict must be prepared for. They're getting ready for the assessment of their weapons types, focusing mostly on combat capabilities in regional conflicts, but the PLA is now being factored in for a total war scenario. The Chinese government has recently told them that they must get ready to fight America and American shorelines. This comes as
Fight America and American shoreline. Meaning what? Invasion, man. You know, invasion of America. And this is what they telling their people. Like, look, they soldiers or whatever. This what's going down. Prepare for this. You know, and that's what we telling. We warning our people. The prophet Jeremiah 28. The prophets that been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries of gate and great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. And that's what we do. Week in, week out, we warn our people. Like, look, these things are coming to pass, whether you want them to or not. You know, whether you want these things to come to pass or not, they on the way. So, like,
the Chinese and the USA have reached their most conflicted point in decades. Total war, of course, means that all available resources and efforts of a country are being mobilized toward winning the war. It involves not only the military, but also the civilian population, as well as the economy. This occurred back in World War I and World War II. This is the latest evaluation of Chinese warships. Navy scientists are designing new doomsday scenarios that they're calling Doomsday Z. But in Doomsday Z, there is a clash of strategic willpower. The regional conflict will escalate to total war, says the team led by researcher Fang Kangxin of Unit 91404 in the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Fang's unit is responsible for the sea testing of some of China's most powerful and newest weapons types. The Z war scenario.
Yeah, that's pretty much the point. I just wanted to get the point. You go watch the whole video, but you gotta get it all. And that's why the scriptures say, "Watch ye therefore and pray always that you're kind of worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass." A lot of different things are gonna play out before the nuclear missiles hit and evaporate this place. The Lord is finna send all kind of pestilence, plagues, famines, or anarchy in the earth before the nuclear missiles. You know, this Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3 select. It say, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?" And Yahushua answered and said unto them, "Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. All these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be war, and there shall be pestilence. There shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, man. So we are entering into we are in the beginning of sorrows because these things are happening. I just seen a article on Newsbreak saying mosquitoes carrying the deadly virus. A mosquito was found carrying the deadly virus in Mobile. One mosquito, or something like that. You know, right here where we at. So that's a plague, a pestilence. And we know we ain't ignorant to Satan devices. We know Bill Gates, you know, released all those supposedly released out where they did it. They did it. He said he's gonna do it. They released all those GMO mosquitoes in the Florida, man. And all it takes is storms to blow them to around the United States and blow them around. You know, so we ain't ignorant of the things that are going on. We watching everything. That's all we can do is watch all the prophecies, watch the things that the Lord say was gonna happen, and just watch in general, you know, because it ain't written out in detail exactly what's gonna happen, all the different things that's gonna happen when all hell break loose. No, it don't tell you every fucking thing, but through the spirit we know that more things than what the scriptures speak about gonna be happening. Why? Because it's the worst time that the earth have ever seen. And they were just explaining what they seen in the detail to where we could understand it now and know that these things are coming. You know how they gonna come. We know the exact order to an extent, yes, but exactly how they gonna do it is what I'm saying. What they gonna do, and we don't know that. All we can do is watch and wait, and so we don't be caught off guard. It don't matter how he do it, long as we know what he's gonna do and what to avoid. You know, that's all that matters for the elect. It don't exactly matter exactly how he gonna do it, what order. That don't matter, man. Because Esau can do the EMP. Esau can say a solar flare hit. Esau can crash the dollar, then do the EMP. You know, he can do the EMP and the dollar crash. He can say a solar flare hit. He can do the fake alien invasion, and we don't know how it's gonna go. Another pestilence, lockdowns again. That make the dollar crash. It can go a lot of different ways. You know, war can break out. You know, all these things, if it is gonna lead to the same outcome, put it like that, and that's gonna be this NWO, which is their master plan. You know, the MOTB being implemented throughout the earth, and then what? The Lord coming back. You know, to take these nations down and their military. But we watching, the borders, watching the different alternative news and stuff because it was talks about that a while back when those cargo containers was off the shores. Those Chinese cargo containers, talks about it could be military personnel or weapons or anything in them, you know. And now it's making more sense now, you know. Now they infiltrating this place with their men, you know, flooding this mud with their men. Probably a few women amongst it, but I'm pretty sure majority men. Because I think, if I ain't mistaken, in China it's a shortage on women. And so you women better be ready, man. You know? And don't think just because it's a little Chinese man, you think you're gonna outpower them. No, man. Woman is the weaker vessel. Yeah, gonna be in trouble. Then these military age men, young men, you know. But it's a high time to repent and wake up out of sleep, because this place is gonna be destroyed. It's the fourth, so-called Fourth of July. Everybody turned up, partying, chilling, popping firecrackers. You know, hoping that they house shall continue forever. You know, niggas somewhere popping firecrackers, eating hog mogs, or some crazy shit. You know, talking about goddamn sports. You know, or talking about something that don't matter, man. Which is gonna all lead to these people being caught off guard, and it's gonna lead to their deaths, man. Because you have the prophets warning you week in, week out, day in, day out, man. Let you know, like, look, we the Lord chosen people, repent. This finna happen, that's finna happen. And these people see it, but they ain't chosen to receive it. Why how about some how shall we are chosen to receive these things. The Lord tapped into us so where we don't hear these words and then we just shun it like, oh, that ain't gonna happen. No, we hear these words and we believe, man. We hear these words and action comes behind us. Action came behind us hearing these words. A lot of people, they hear these words, no action is comes behind their motive after hearing these words, you know. But it is what it is, you know. We hope we be delivered and shit to everybody else. Hey, that's on you, man. But that's pretty much the point, Lord willing, this will edifying. I want to end giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Makaku Dash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, great men, stone, who have been great examples to his young brothers in truth. Peace and blessings to the hopefully. Shalom. Call me out to Allah. Shalom.